What's up, everyone? Alright, welcome back. Last time we talked about my Super Nintendo collection, so technically this is Super Nintendo Part 2, but we're really talking about the Super Famicom. So that's the Japanese Super Nintendo. I had to interrupt this episode to bring you... I found a couple more things. So here is the system with Street Fighter 2 in it. And one thing to note is the controller. Something fun about it is the different colored buttons compared to, you know, the North American Super Nintendo. So the cartridges are a little different. So there's a couple games that I talked about last time, or there's a couple games that I couldn't talk about last time because I couldn't find them. So Mario World, Super Mario World is one of them, and then Killer Instinct, I know I have that one. But let's start talking about these games. This game is really good. I'm gonna do my best to describe these games for, you know, people who haven't seen them, but Super Metroid, probably my #1 recommendation out of this whole lot. Even though it's a Japanese version, you can still play it. Super Metroid. Here we have, boom, Super Mario All-Stars. So this is a remake of Super Mario 1, Super Mario 2. It has the other version of Super Mario 2, the Japan-only version, and the American version. And it has Super Mario 3, and some versions have Super Mario World. Here we have Kirby Super Deluxe. I might not be saying the name right, but this is the best Kirby game on the Super Nintendo. It even remakes like the original Kirby game. And it has a bunch of different modes in there. So a lot of these games I could have on the American SNES, but I have them on the Japanese one. Here we have one of the Disney games made by Capcom. This is Mickey Mania. Next we have Yoshi's Island, but this is the Japanese version. So I kind of talked about this one already in my other video. Alright, where do I go from here? I guess real quick, let's show off a bunch of games, right, that I'm not even going to be able to give you their name, but I guess they're Japanese only Super Nintendo, so it's always cool to, you know, have those in your collection. This looks like Noah's Ark or something. Now remember, guys, since these are Japanese, you know, you can't really read them unless you know Japanese. This one has a cool anime cover. Pretty much all of these have cool anime covers. This one says Hyper Version. And then this game over here is Puyo Puyo, the puzzle game. Alright, here we have another one of the Disney Mickey games. I think this is Mickey Circus Mystery, or the Great Circus Mystery. So really cool, really happy to have these, you know, any version I can get, even if it's the Japanese version. Here's more Disney games. This one's by Hudson Soft. This is Beauty and the Beast. Next one we have is... I don't even know what you call this. I think this is the Disneyland one. Disneyland one. Yeah. This one I did check out, and check it out, guys. This is actually a way that you could play the Japanese, you know, Super Nintendo games on an American cartridge. They work. You know, you could play these on the American system. They work. It's just, you gotta make them fit. So I did that to this one and another game. This is actually a dodgeball game. And you know what? My friend from Korea actually remembered growing up with this anime, is the funny part. Wow, I just got a flashback to that. Here we have a game that, you know, people all around the world grew up with this anime. This is Captain Tsubasa. And so I guess this is Captain Tsubasa 3 on Super Nintendo. You know, I think there was Captain Tsubasa games on NES and, you know, everything. Alright, so we actually got through a couple of games. You know, let's get through even more here. Here we have a Capcom fighting game called, what is it called? Muscle Bomber. The Body Explosion. I think in, you know, on the SNES, Super Nintendo, it's called Saturday Night Slam Masters. Something like that. But this game, I'm pretty sure it has Hagar from Final Fight. Here we have Human Grand Prix. Oh my god. Well, alright, I haven't explained a few of these games, but I guess they were in Japanese, you know. Couldn't explain too much. The Disney games, they were platformers. Captain Tsubasa was a soccer game. We're gonna get to the good stuff. Here we have, you know, a racing game. Alright, next one. Here we have another racing game. This is F-Zero. See, I don't have F-Zero on the SNES, but I do have it on Super Nintendo here. Here's a cool game for Super Nintendo. This is actually Final Fight, you know, Terry Bogard. Or this is Fatal Fury. This is Fatal Fury. Not Final Fight. Final Fight is Capcom, this is SNK. Here we have a good SNES game, or, you know, it's alright. Cool Spot. 7-Eleven Cool Spot. It's a cool cartridge, especially in Japanese. Alright, here's a good game. Yu Hakusho fighting game on Super Nintendo. Was not released in America. Ooh, here's a really good one. This is Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I think I have the original Street Fighter 2 cartridge as well. I actually do. And it has a lot of writing on there, but this is Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This is the upgraded version. Here's some more fighting games. We've been talking about a lot of fighting games, but here's some of the most popular games, I think, on the Super Famicom. Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden. These were Dragon Ball Z fighting games on Super Nintendo, only in Japan, from the 90s, you know, when these series were out. So here is up to the Cell Saga, and then here is the Buu Saga. Yes. Here's another really cool cartridge. You know, this is actually one of my favorite anime series. This is Crayon Shin-Chan. In America, the series is really, you know, mature and funny. But in Japan and other countries, it's actually for kids. I think that's more of a kids game. Alright guys, so I had to cut into this because I found more games. So let me take these out real quick. Let's do this, guys. We have like twice as many games to cover here. So I don't know if this is gonna be part 1 or part 2, but let's do it. So the first game we're going to talk about is actually this Sailor Moon fighting game. So this is a Sailor Moon game where it's a lot like Street Fighter. And they actually have tournaments for it to this day. And I had to add this to my collection. So there's a lot of Sailor Moon games, but this is the good one. There's also a beat 'em up. Alright guys, here we have Dragon Quest. So these are actually the games why I had to redo this whole episode, because I knew I had more games out there. Dragon Quest, is an awesome series, you know, with the artist of Dragon Ball Z. It's an RPG, but remember, these games are in Japanese, so can't really read them, and they weren't actually released in America. So next we have Ogre Battle. So this is a tactical RPG, I'm pretty sure. That's all I'm gonna say about that one, because I'm excited for the next one. Next one is Super Fire Pro Wrestling. So this is a wrestling series that is kind of still going on today, and there's a lot of iterations and additions of this series. Here we have a game called Holy Striker. I don't even know what game this is really. This is a game I can't read either. I think this is Puyo Puyo 2. So I also have Puyo Puyo 1 in the collection. And then we have Super Formation Soccer 95. I like the Italian flag, or maybe it's Mexico. So here, out of the corner of my eye, I see Super Cup Soccer. So remember, guys, this is Super Famicom. The rest of the world, it's going to be super popular. So these are all soccer games by different developers. The last one was Jalico. This is Namco Prime Goal 3. Alright, here's something cool. Gundam GX with a little SD Super Deformed Gundam. This is probably a tactical RPG, I think. It's in Japanese. I can't play some of these games. These were like the pile of, I really can't read them. But you know what this game is? I'm pretty sure that this is an anime with, what do they call them? Racing cars or slot cars. Really cool. I actually remember watching this when I was a kid. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what this is. And then I think this is a series called Derby. And here is the Yu Yu Hakusho game that I have here somewhere else. Alright, here is a bunch of Japanese games that I can't even read. Alright guys, so if you want to see me cover the rest of these Japanese games, I'm probably going to save it for the end of the video because I didn't have a lot to say on them. They're kind of just more games. But here's a good one. This is a Dragon Ball game on Super Famicom. But this is, you know, by that point it was already Dragon Ball Z. This is like an RPG again about the whole story. So it's cool. I'm not even gonna say anything. That was number 2. We had number 1 before of a different one. I can't read this, but the art here is so cool, guys. All I can say is I got him. I think this is Super Mahjong. And we're gonna end on something I can read by Bam Presto, The Lord of Elemental. Damn, alright guys, so we actually have gotten through a lot of games here. You know, for the hardcore video game fans, you know, you might know exactly what we're talking about here. But, let me know if you just found out about some of these games for the first time. Alright, here's another cool game, Aladdin on Super Nintendo. There's also Aladdin on Genesis, but they're actually like different games, different graphics, different levels. But it's a good game. Here we have Pac in Time. So it looks like Pac-Man, like as Indiana Jones, but this is not like any other Pac-Man game, like the maze puzzles. This is different, kind of like Mario, but different from that too. We only have a few games left, guys. Here we have a game by Hudson Soft, Alfaria. There's some cool art on there, I'm not gonna lie, there's some cool art. Alright guys, I'll save the best for last. I have no idea what game this is. I can't even read it, pronounce it, but it's badass. And last but not least, Samurai Spirits. Samurai Spirits is Samurai Showdown, but the first one, and it has a different name in Japan. But that's gonna be it for this episode. You know, I'm really proud of myself that we were able to talk about all these rare games. I have a nice collection. Let me know what you want to see me cover next. Kind of been going in order, working our way up, working our way backwards. What video games did you grow up with? What do you want to see me talk about next? It could be anything. Game Boy, Nintendo, GameCube is on the way, Wii, PS2, Xbox. Let me know what you want to see me cover next. NES. I'll see you guys next time. It's been me, GOCARLO. Please hit that follow button, like, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, Twitch. Peace. Retro gaming forever.